we're black and the cameras aren't on and everything's all weird. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday show. This is Pieces That Pat Paints. I'm Pat, that's Kristen down there. If you can, his sword's like all up in your way. He's so big that you can see his sword rising up off of the desk into the other camera. That's fun. That's crazy. Okay.
Behind the sword.
Yep. So anyway, let's take him down off of here before we cause any problems, knock him off or whatever. It is kind of fun to have him in the picture that we're getting. So looking really nice. That wash really did settle in for us so well. It looks so good. He looks so filthy and decrepit. Which I feel like that's kind of the idea, the fallen glory, or however you want to phrase it. Oh. Okay. So today's main goal is to try and finish up this body, and we're going to get the rest of his... I don't know what I just knocked down onto the ground. Hope it wasn't anything too serious. Probably wasn't. I don't think it went to any of the important stuff. It may have been one of my other miniatures, which is okay. I'm always mad. I'm always knocking stuff around in here. Anyway, so like I said, we're gonna pull out the bronze and we're gonna finish up all his little places. We're gonna fix any of these little spots where we may have smeared it off just a little bit. When we were handling him yesterday, the paint kind of started coming off. That's mineral spirits will do that, so you kind of got to be careful with that stuff. It is. There's a game you got to play with it, so you got to figure out what's working and what's not working for you. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea. We're going to go ahead and let me get some music started, and we're gonna get going. I need to get out my bronze because a lot of this is bronze, and there's a little bit of tunage for us to listen to, which is good and good for you. Ooh, that's loud. Its first pulse wasn't so loud, but then it got really loud. It's good though. I don't mind a little that what do you call it? Synth music. I don't know that it's exactly electric dance music, so synth seems a little bit closer to what it probably is. Get my towel for my wet towel. Ow! Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna start off with a little bit of just some dry brush on these knee pads. That's actually gonna be the easiest, fastest way to do this. And of course we don't want to do this on all of his armor because of how it sits. It may not work out well for us. And this is, on this kind of a thing, really, you're just going to put it on there till it's got enough for you. I feel like some people may want more bronze. Some people may want it to be less bronzy. I'm just trying to kind of pick out a little bit of those details. I still want it to stay pretty dirty, but I want that finish to come out. Same thing with his arms. This is just a real quick once over, just to kind of finish it up. And definitely his little glove thing on the one hand that he actually has one. He got his little rhinestone glove like Mike. Oh, poor Mike. Alright, great. Now, the rest of this sword is it's also bronze. So we can go ahead and come back here. Again, you're working with all these metallics. You really want to make sure you're conditioning your brushes. You know, buy some soap and conditioner. If you don't, it will eventually just completely eat up your brush. So you need to be conditioning it. You know, probably about if you're using a metallic, then you would probably want to do it every 2 or 3 sessions you're using metallics. If not, like every session. If you want to get obsessive about it, that's totally fine. He's so honking big. I'm always glancing over at this thing to see if anybody's showing up, and then usually like once I start not paying attention, that's when somebody pops on.
Right.
It's always like that. It's so funny. But I figure I'm doing all right. These channels take a while, so you just kind of got to be patient. And it's like that guy one of the people we were on that documentary we listened to today, where he's talking about how people these days, you know, they like that authenticness more than anything else. So you just kind of chill out, just be yourself and wait, and you know, eventually people come to you, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to be waiting around. I'm going to do some other stuff. Mom had a cool idea of doing, like, if we ever get around to getting like a booth and stuff together, we could make like some block print for D&D, like greeting cards and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And you could sell for like $5. You know, because it's just a block print that's like a greeting card, happy birthday, with a beholder on it or whatever. You know, a dragon or elves, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what it is, you know.
Right.
But I thought that was a pretty good idea. I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I had to come up with some ideas of what it's going to look like and then carve the actual block pieces to do the prints. But if you made a block print, you could just make a gang of them. I don't know that I would want to go and do like traveling around doing all these art shows, but or all the medieval fairs. Luckily, medieval fairs have like a season. Like if we did something like that, there's like a fair season. You know, they don't. Art shows go all year. The cons go all year.
Right.
That's a lot of rolling around.
There's a lot.
Alright, switching down to a super fine tip here. And we're just going to come through. A lot of these rivets need to be readdressed. with just a few of these. And we need just a little touch-ups. Oh, yes. Looking mighty spiffy. Make sure you just keep an eye out. Check for any little places where it maybe needs a touch up. We're not trying to get too wild here. A lot of those rivets got lost in our wash. So we definitely want to bring those back out. Yeah, a lot of these little things got lost in it too. That's okay. We'll just fix them up real quick, no problem. It's really wild with this one doesn't have the same rivets. The rivets on it are in the different, kind of in a different place. They're missing a few of them. One arm is definitely not like the other.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is really strange. It kind of affects you when you're looking at it, where you're kind of like, well, wait a minute, isn't there supposed to be the? Why isn't that over here? And it can kind of throw you a little bit at first. And I don't know if that's game design, if the character in the game was designed that way, or if that's the 3D artist that made this piece did that.
Mm-hmm.
Just lots of trim work again. Lots of trim work. Seems like every other day we're doing trim work on this thing. My hand getting a little numb. Take those breaks. Your hand feels like it's getting numb. Stop. That's your arthritis and your nerve damage in your hand. You gotta stop. Hang out with it. You'll just make it worse. Stop. Alright, let's see. You just kind of keep running on down. It's kind of boring, but it's super necessary. And you'll notice these successive pieces like this go on a whole lot, or successive layers go on easier. You don't have to work quite as hard to get the same results. Not that we had to do much with this bronze, it just pops right out. Oh. Misstroke. Fixed it. And that's one of the things where you kind of let your layers dry in between so that you can fix things like that. If you don't let your layers dry, then you won't be able to do it like that. You will have to repaint it or something. Once those layers are set, you can get that water on there and wash it off real quick. Okay. Just gotta fix these little spots right here. Hey, hello Joyce, how are you? We're cruising on through this current project. It has been a doozy. We're looking at 19 hours so far on this guy. It's huge. It's such a big piece. It makes my hand tired. And not just the hand holding it, but like even my brush hand gets tired. And we want to leave some of that dirtiness, so we don't want to get too broke off and like making everything look super clean. I'm well today yourself. Yeah, we're doing all right. Wednesdays are chill. Kristen has the day off on Wednesdays, so she gets to hang out, and we get to kind of enjoy some time with no kids, at least for now. Summer is coming fast, so
very quickly approaching.
Yeah. So our Wednesdays with no kids going crazy is
about to come to an end.
It is. Alright. I love his little rivets. They're so much fun. You got so many of them though. The guy is large, right? He's so big. Here's a regular miniature for scale. We went from painting things like this to painting things like this. Hey, he's big. He's even bigger than that Radagon in his own way. I think the Radagon may have been taller. And this isn't even all of it. There's another part to this model. The base that he stands on is like another. It's just as big as he is. So it's been an adventure. It's been really cool having it. I think I'm gonna miss it a little bit when it's done. And off to Mr. Gold's house. So that's good. I mean, that tells you it was a good piece. If the artist is like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss that," and I am. It's really neat. All right, so let's try and fix that with that little boo boo. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. We may be there. We gotta do a little bit of that gold work. Where's the gold? Okay, those gold tassels got worn off a little bit. Oh goodness. So I do a little bit of gold on some of these parts, and then I think we can start working on his cloak. He's got two parts to that. He's got this piece and another piece that I have over there that actually I think has armor on it too. Yeah, it's got an armor part, so we gotta finish that guy up. Which that's no big deal. But yeah, about time for another wash on these guys. It's only been a few sessions since last time I washed them, but it doesn't take long, especially with your metallics. It will chew up your metallics pretty quick. I kind of like this damaged look to it. That's kind of fun. I was just inadvertent from it rubbing off a little bit, but it's going to work for us, I think. And really on this bottom part, try to clear up just the tips of it. Don't work too far up into the inside of it. Leave it dirty. But we do want people to know it's gold, so we're not gonna, we're not gonna not paint it, but we're gonna paint a little bit. I don't know, Chewy, just fly casual. It's a Star Wars line. If anybody got that, congratulations. Yep. Yeah, she. I keep talking about getting her own camera, but she doesn't really want me to. She's usually over there coloring something. She's been working on pandas lately.
No, I don't need a camera over here.
Yeah, you do. Totally need a camera over there. Same thing with this one. I really just kind of want to add just a little shimmer to each one. I'm not looking to completely repaint them. Just kind of give it a little bit of a shine on parts of it. Especially with this gold, since it's so... Now it really does look different from the... Yes, it does. It makes the little details pop out more. When this is a bronze, and this is a gold. So putting the color back on it just a touch after the wash is really going to help it. Its color differentiation, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see it on a camera. But when you look at it in live, you can really... There's just a difference in this yellow metallic than the other yellow metallic. And you can tell it's different.
Yep, there's a different tone.
Which is the idea. Oh my goodness. God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I gotta wash and do this, so we'll wash this and we'll finish that piece up, but that is pretty much... Oh my gosh, he's done. Except I gotta do the clock. I gotta do the cloak. I keep forgetting about this thing, and I'm gonna keep forgetting about it unless I do something about it. Okay. Another round of bronze trim. Luckily with this one, there's not a lot of... I don't have to put a wash on this or anything. All I really need to do is get it golded up and then dry brush the edge of the cloak. It should be good. Holy Moses. So yeah, we're going to throw down this bronze real quick on the trim. Then we'll fix any errors. I'll do a bit of a dry brush on the other part of the cloak, the folds and such. And then that should send it over to the base where we can put it on. We can start looking at this OSL on his ankle, because that candle is right below his ankle, so we should be getting just a touch of light on the ankle itself. Have to stick it in that gold if I don't pay attention. Okay. Let me set off a little bit. This thing's pretty wrinkly. So don't judge yourself too harsh if it doesn't go on there perfect. When it gets wrinkly like that, it's kind of hard to get it on there just right. So remember, you're just going to come back and do some touch-ups, and it'll be fine. Spend forever stressing about it, trying to get it just perfect, and you won't get anything done. And then your hobby goes to pot, because you're not actually producing anything, and then you feel like you never accomplished anything, and then you quit, and that's not good. You don't want that. We want enthusiastic hobbyists and painters and things. Probably should have done all this earlier, but I honestly just keep forgetting that it's there. Good thing we did though, because I would have missed this little piece that needed to be done. Looks like that got rubbed off from yesterday's work. Goodness. It is a lot of metallics. My poor brushes. Yeah, I think I cleaned them last week. Gotta clean them again this week. That is the price you pay for buying your more expensive brushes. Now I could go and buy synthetics and it probably would do the job just fine. And I wouldn't have to do quite as much work to maintain them. But I like the feeling of a Colinci sable brush when it goes on to the model. And there's just no comparison to that. So I'm going to keep it the way I do it. Give me a second, I got my hand unthaw.
I think it's like that with any hobby. You gotta find the tools that you like. It's not necessarily like this is better or that's better. It's the one that you're gonna end up liking and works for the way that you work as an artist.
Yes.
Because I see this on the Coloring Groups I'm in. People are like, what's the best? That's such a loaded question because the best to me and the best to somebody else is not the same. It just totally depends on what you're trying to accomplish, how you're using it, what you like, the feel you like personally. Like it varies.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely needs to come down to like, what are you most comfortable using? Mm-hmm. Because in the end, you're the one.
What produces the results you're after when you use it?
Right, because you're the one who has to. You're the one who has to do the work. So,
right.
If you don't like what it's doing, then you need to change that. All right, so we're just gonna throw on some black here, just to get anything out of the way as far as like mistakes or over paints or rub offs or whatever's happened over the time that, golly, that sword is so long.
It's so big.
It gets caught up on all the craziest stuff. Every time I turn around, it's getting caught on something. I'm like, oh my goodness. The Japanese love that big long sword thing. They've been doing it forever. Video games, manga, animes. Okay, so one little mistake right there. Again, I set my stroke, I set that line like this, and then I'm going to bring my strokes to be more even with the pattern of the fabric, and that'll help it to where it won't look like there's a random dried paint stripe. It'll have movement and texture, and it won't look so static. It won't look quite so much like paint, which is, kind of the idea. So all right. This is the part where I wish it would just dry faster. Makes you want to blow on it or whatever. Well, I'm so close to having the body done, and then we can start putting him on that, working on his mount, and then there's a place where the candle is going to hit right here. It's like right there. So we've got to OSL that spot. And OSL means Object Source Lighting, for those of you who aren't familiar with that term. And what it It's where we're going to take something that's going to be providing a light source that isn't the normal light source for the product, for the item, the project, and we're going to add that other light effect into the design of the model itself through paint. And it gets it's a little hard. It's complicated. I want to get this done first, and then we'll move into that. Namely, because I got to think about what I want to do, and I got to get the colors that I need for that to get it right. Okay, so we are going to make a gray. Now we want this gray to be pretty dark. There we go. I really just kind of want to catch the edges of this cloak, the fabric. Keep your brush strokes going the same direction. That's going to help it stay looking like fabric. And we're really just trying to barely bring it out. I think you can see it pretty well there. You're just trying to barely bring out the detail. You're not really trying to change the color of it at all. We're just kind of, especially these raised bits, we're trying to get those raised bits to take on just a little bit of pigment. And with it being clothing, you can cross do it. So we do it this way this time, and we can go this way too a little bit, just to kind of give it that cross look of the stitch in the fabric. Okay, but don't get too crazy. You'll mess it up. Maybe not. I'll mess it up. So anyway, but now you can see kind of it's got a little bit more texture to the fabric. You can do a little bit of that here on the inside of this, and we want to be a little bit more careful here because this is down in the shadow. It's not exposed to any light up on the surface, so just barely any at all, but a little bit is going to help. You just gotta be careful. Don't get carried away. Okay. My goodness, that's exciting. Alright, so he's gonna go in here. Get on there. And as you can see right there, you got that candle that's right up underneath his foot. The way it looks is this section right here is going to have to be brought up to look like it's got light on it. And it doesn't need to be a lot of light, just a little bit. So we've done these on the channel before, but in case you haven't watched this and seen these happen, you just kind of want the idea of light, just like the hint of light. So it's just a little bit yellow. And this is a Cadmium yellow deep, is what I'm using, by Winsor and Newton. I love this product. I love my thicker acrylics, especially in the wet palettes, because like it starts out thicker, and then tomorrow I'll come in and it's perfect. And sometimes I like to use it when it's still really stiff, because I like that stiffer paint. Now, again, that's one of those that everybody like, well, hello, Georgianne. It's nice to see you again. So again, we gotta keep using our reference. Not that you guys can see what I'm doing. Kind of hard. Well, it's in the weirdest place, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to find a way I can show. All right, so the light's here, so that's going to be right about here. So we're going to start putting in a little bit of pigment. Use a little bit on my neck. Take a little bit off there. Now, luckily, the good thing with yellows and whites, and I say this a lot, is that they they fade a lot. They're kind of a translucent. And you see, I'm going to kind of mark it with, hey, this is where that light source is going to be. Okay. Now it's going to be most bright in the middle of that, but it is going to come out a little bit. And then we're going to, here at the center, it's going to be almost like a whiter color. It'll fade out as it goes. And just kind of pull it out away from the source of the light and let it hit what's going to hit. Now the stuff up in there is going to be more obscured because of how light travels. Let's see, now when he sits on there, it'll look like the light is touching his foot. See? You can see the light just right there. And so, well, that is exactly what we wanted it to do, and it's going to look great. Haha. We got to do his claws. I'll probably do his claws. I'm going to attach him first, and then we'll do his claws. We'll also touch up his head. What are we at? We're at 44 minutes. We're killing it today. We are killing it today, folks. I want to attach this tomorrow because I want to do a little bit of work, or just want to check some things. So let's go ahead. We'll put the wash on the rest of the sword. Let me get myself reorganized here. Try to keep yourself organized. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy because it's not easy for me. Oh, see, I went and sealed this thing. I sealed it too tight. Oof. Okay, so same thing we did yesterday. And this is, again, this is a, this one's my nasty metal grime. Is what it's like a grimy wash. And it's just oil paints and mineral wash. And if you soak oil paint in mineral wash, it will separate the material. And it will make it kind of like a grungy black stuff. And then it will still stay super liquidy because the mineral spirits are a super thin liquid, and so it will find all your cracks for you, and it makes this job right here super easy because it's like instant details. Especially for metallics. I don't normally use this on anything else, but I do use it for the metallic stuff because it will just, you see how it just rolls right into those details. And it'll just find them for you. Anything that's on there that needs to darken up, it'll sink in and do it up. Alright, cool. We can let that sit. Man, I can't believe it. Okay. This thing's almost done. 19 episodes so far, guys. It's been a heck of a ride. What a journey. What a journey. So exciting when it starts to get towards the end.
Right?
Alright, where's our pen? Okay. Oh, we're gonna do this. Alright, this one's for you, Mr. Gold. I need to get a picture of this too. And put it on the Society of the Hidden Paints. So I'm going to paint an MG. our patron for this project. His name is Michael Gold, so I'm gonna paint MG on the bottom of his foot, like you know, Andy did his toys in Toy Story.
So fun.
It's so fun. It's such a dorky thing to do, but it's so amazing. All right, there's your MG right there. It's on his foot, I promise. And it's in a golden color paint. Yeah. All right. I'm having a little too much fun today, folks. Don't mind me. Okay, so this pen goes in his foot. Maybe I got that backwards, actually. You gotta get your little hammer. Don't get too crazy because it'll break out. It'll break his leg. All right, that's in there pretty good. All right. This is the part that gets a little nerve-wracking. I gotta get him glued down now. Now I use, a lot of times for 3D prints, I'll use Gorilla Glue's gel super glue. It works pretty well. You could also get, like, you know, resin and a UV pen, and you could, with that, that's a way you can get around it. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this. Okay. Alright, we have to hold this here for a little while and get it to set up. So we gotta wait till that super glue is gonna set up. But golly, is that looking fan-diddly-astic. Now you could probably use like clamps or rubber bands on this if you wanted to. Don't get anything too like crazy. These clamps here are pretty tight, but they're not like the tightest ever. And then these guys, I love these ones. These ones are soft. Like they're not very wide. And I wish I had some that were that soft but that wide, but as wide as this. These are a little tougher. Be super careful with this. It's very easy to accidentally rub off some paint while that's setting up. I don't want that. Alright, we're at 52, and we are at a place where I'm going to have to stop. This is going to take up a lot of space on my workbench. And we don't want him getting messed up. That box of skulls go. There we go. Alright, well, so we got to let him set up for tonight. And we can get back tomorrow, and we should be able to finish. The head is almost done. It's really close. I just got to do a little bit more of that bronze trimming on this, making sure everything looks snazzy. Let's just go ahead and put it on there for fun. just so you can see it. There we go. So anyway, so by tomorrow this guy will set, and we'll be able to get on to the next parts of it. We'll finish up his headgear here, and then we'll get this part here done, and then that's it. He's a done deal. So looks like we're definitely on track to have this guy done this week. So we'll be dropping this off with our client hopefully this weekend. If not, it'll be the weekend after that or whenever I can get around to getting to see him and get it dropped off. And then we'll get on to the next one, which is Melania, I believe. Is another Elder Scrolls thing. If I don't take a quick break, I have a D&D character I have to paint for our kids' D&D game, so I might knock her out real quick, and then slip over to this next Elden Ring piece. Yeah, they've been really cool. These Elden Ring pieces are awesome, but they are big projects, so sometimes you need just a little. Sometimes I need a little bit of recharge. I won't know till I get there. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just kind of how that goes. You just never know. Anyway, I had several watchers on today. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you, Joyce and Georgianne. Always nice to see you ladies when you drop by and get a chance. It's a lot of fun. I think that's about all I can do for today, honestly. And I don't really have too much I want to run my mouth about. So we're going to catch you guys tomorrow. You have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye.